You could single-handedly fix the game industry? Yes, I could. I would actually just by myself remove microtransactions and give everyone a free C6 KO in Genshin Impact. You know the fucking shitty yes honey meme? That's how I've been feeling farming heroes' wits and adventurers' experiences for the past like month. Alright? I don't want to do this anymore, man. Can I do anything else, please? I beg. Isn't that enough for 3 characters? Do you think there's only 3 new characters coming in Fontaine? We're getting 4 on the first patch alone! Ah! C6 Sara and C6 Fischl for Hyper Raiden. Does it change with C2 Raiden? Like, there is some nuance to it. But after taking all the nuance into account, for most people, I'd recommend just going with Fischl. At C2, though, going with Sara at a baseline is probably better. But Fischl is still very good. Sara better, what the fuck? Yeah, it's because what Sara does is she multiplies your Raiden's damage by a certain amount. What Fischl does is she does damage. So when you get Raiden C2 and you increase Raiden's damage a lot, well, multiplying that is now providing more than it was when your Raiden was doing less damage. What about Fischl instead of Bennett and not instead of Sara? I would not do that ever. Like, technically you can, but I would not. No. No purrs. Can you talk a bit about the nuance of it? Yeah, Fischl's damage is mostly single target, which means that when you're in AoE situations, it can balance the scale a bit more towards Sara. But then Sara's burst is 20-second cooldown, and when you're playing Raiden, Bennett, Kazuha as the other 3 units, it makes it so that you have to choose either I don't use Sara's burst every other rotation, which means that you lose resolve on half of your Raiden bursts, or I extend my rotation by 2 seconds, 20 seconds, which is not something that in practice actually happens that much because most people don't do perfect rotations. And there's pretty easily can be 2 seconds of wiggle room where you just don't play perfectly enough to get your next burst 18 seconds later anyways. So the 20 seconds doesn't really matter that much. But if you are playing perfectly, then it will be something that you have to choose. And then both can be viable. It really depends on what you're trying to do. But yeah, it's yeah. And I guess if you get C6 Raiden, that part of the argument gets removed because now your cooldown is less than 20 seconds. Sure. But by C2, I would already say that Sara's better, and C3 makes it even more of a difference. Very curious about this. Why do people use both Xingqiu and Yelan, but Sucrose is low compared to Kazuha, despite having very high versatility and good teams? Mainly because a lot of people use double Hydro. And because Yelan doesn't function in some of the teams where Xingqiu is good. Right? Even the teams where Sucrose is better than Kazuha, Kazuha will still function. But the teams where you actually need the higher Hydro app, for like the average player playing a Hu Tao team with only 1 Hydro, Yelan just doesn't feel good to play. And finally, because Xingqiu is the best unit in the game. Right, like Kazuha and Sucrose are basically on the same level and interchangeable, where one of them is going to be better and the other one is going to be better in like different teams. With Xingqiu and Yelan, it's just not the same dynamic. Xingqiu's better in almost every team. And even in teams where you do play Yelan, often you play Xingqiu as well. Right? And I guess in a third reason, with the release of Dendro, there's a bunch of teams that don't actually care that much about getting an Animo unit. And I would say there's not as many teams that don't care about getting a Hydro unit. So you're more likely to play Xingqiu on one side and Yelan on the other than you are to play Kazuha on one side and Sucrose on the other. Sucrose is only good as a driver. As a sub DPS, she's so clunky that Kazuha destroys her. I mean, What do you mean by sub DPS? Like, yeah, that's not her role. She's not a good sub DPS. Just like, I don't know, Hu Tao is not a good sub DPS. Like, that's not what she's supposed to do. If you're trying to make her do that, then you won't get good results. But that's on you, Bozo. Do you think Dot has a place in Genshin's combat, with burning being so open? It's my favorite playstyle, and the state of burning bums me out. I mean, yes and no. I think dots do have a place in Genshin's combat, but not as just like they need to be doing something. It can't just be the equivalent of physical dot, right? Like, I like burning because of the way that it's used, but like they could make a character that's like, I don't know, fucking apply a mark to an enemy, they'll take hydro damage every second. But like, realistically, what's the difference between that and something like Oz, right? It's still damage over time, it's just the way that it practically works is slightly different. But shit like Oz is damage over time. Why does the Traveler not talk? Probably because without the Traveler's dialogues, the voices already have a size that's half of the size of the game. What the fuck? Do you have a source for that? That seems like the most unbelievable thing I've ever heard. You're telling me that the voiceovers are half the game files?
Hey, you sure we're going the right way? Doubt there's any treasure in this creepy place.
This treasure map's now ours. We just follow it all the way.
Hey, wait. Did you just hear something?
Man up. I'm just imagining things.
Quick, do something!
Yes, so so that is why Hu Tao's trailer is a good one. I'm trying, I can't even do it. You just while shaking your head. By the way, chat, for those of you that are going for Lyney, just keep in mind, Lyney is not going to be good on day one. Like, Lyney's actually going to feel like shit on day one. Because the new set is so much better for him than anything else. And you're not going to have a good new set already. So you're basically playing with a huge handicap. How does it compare to other sets? Base attack, attack percent, flat attack, total attack, damage percent, crit value, crit multiplier, attack. We're only gonna look at the charge attack damage for now. I know it... yeah, whatever. I don't care. Okay, so... Lyney. And what weapon do you guys want to look at? Aqua? I don't know about that. Free to play? Yeah. Let's just look at Prototype Crescent for now. So 318 plus 565, 27.6 plus 72, plus Power Resonance, plus Noblesse, Bennett, damage percent. Oh yeah, I guess substats as well. Damage percent. %100% plus 46.6%. plus 32%. Crit value, 62.2. What's the sentence side again? It's crit, right? Yeah. Plus 98.4 plus 20 times 6.6. This is without any set. No set. Then we're gonna have... Well, what would be his best set right now? I guess Lava Walker? Maybe? Let's look at Lava Walker. And then 2-piece, 2-piece. So, oops. With Lava Walker, you just do plus 35%. With 2-piece, 2-piece, you do 18% and 15%. And with Marie-Chaussee, you get 72% of this, and then it's 15%, but only the charge attack damage, and not all of his damage is charge attack damage, so I'm gonna fucking approximate it to about 10% equivalent. But yeah. The damage gain from the set bonus, 12% on Lava Walker, 9% on 2-piece, 2-piece, 33% from Marie-Chaussee. This isn't actually, like, entirely true, because technically, you're not getting full uptime on this. But you're actually getting very close to full uptime. So, good enough of an approximation, I don't care. But, yeah, so, all of this to say, yeah, you're not gonna have a good, like, 4-piece set for him on day one, and that is gonna significantly hurt his performance. So just keep that in mind. Am I pulling for Lyney? Yeah, I think I will. Because I want to get Lynette's C1, just so I can personally experience how dogshit it is. Chat, turn the volume down, because I'm gonna yell. Purple! I'm never doing this again.